On this story, I want to bring in our international affairs editor, Philip Turle. Thank you so much for joining me in the studio, Philip. Tell us what we know about this gunman so far.
Right, well, there have been bits of information coming out little by little since this failed assassination attempt earlier. We know now that it was an assassination bid. That was unclear to start with, but that has been confirmed by the FBI. Also, the name of the shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks. He's 20 years old. He comes from Bethel Park in Pennsylvania. He was born in September 2003. He had no ID on him when this assassination bid took place. That's why we had to wait a while for his identity to be released, because the FBI were trying to investigate who he was. They were going through a DNA check. Eventually, we got the name about an hour or so ago. What we don't know is the motivation. We don't know why he did it. He's very young. We don't know whether he has anybody who is helping him in all of this, whether he had an accomplice, whether or not this was planned for a long time. There is reason to believe that someone that young could not just turn up with a gun at a political rally and then climb onto a building and shoot at Donald Trump. So there must have been some kind of preparation. Another question is, where did the gun come from? How long had he had it for? Where did he obtain it from? I think all of these are questions that the investigation is going to come up with answers to. But this is very, very early on right now. So that is the basic bottom line. And one other piece of information which is quite important is that it's been revealed that he is a Republican voter and a supporter of the Republican Party. So not someone directly involved with the Democrats, which I think obviously will come as a huge relief to the Democrats that it was someone actually firing at Donald Trump, who is set to be the Republican Party candidate at the convention due to start tomorrow in Milwaukee.
And of course, this attack has very much fueled shock around the world. There's normally a lot of security at events like this. So how could this have happened at this rally?
Well, I think that is the next big question, is if you look at the images that we've been showing on the air since this happened, you can see that where the gunman was positioned was very close to the stage where Donald Trump was speaking. And that raises the question, why weren't the necessary steps taken to ensure that that area was under the surveillance of marksmen or was being protected by someone who was already there? How come in this day and age where you have aerial photography, you have drones, that the gunman could get up there without being seen? And even members of the public who were taking part in this rally had warned the security services that someone was climbing up the side of a building with a gun on their back, and they thought that that was a risk, that there may be an assassination bid, and apparently nothing was done about it. And you can hear when you see the videos of what happened that people are warning that there is a man up there who is shooting. So it wasn't as if this wasn't in full view of the public. So why weren't those steps taken to stop this from taking place? I think there was obviously a failing somewhere down the line that up a high ground like that wasn't under proper surveillance. Now, what did happen is, of course, a minute that this shooting started taking place, the marksman, not where the gunman was, but just close by, opened fire and killed him. But it was already too late to stop the bullet that actually hit Donald Trump in the ear. So a lot of unanswered questions about how this all happened and why this gunman was allowed to climb onto this building and to be able to shoot from there and potentially assassinate Donald Trump.
Of course, the FBI will be trying to answer those questions, but what will they be looking for first, do you think?
Well, I think that the most important thing is to analyse the character of the person. Was he mentally unbalanced? What kind of background does he come from? What exactly were his motivations? All of that appears pretty unclear right now. If he was a supporter of the Republican Party as well. There are rumours that he had some contact with Democrats as well as that, but all of this has got to be fully confirmed. We don't have this confirmed by the FBI right now. I think that there will also be an examination of whether he was mentally stable. It's unclear whether he was working on behalf of an organisation or working as a lone gunman. All of these are other aspects that I think the investigation is going to be looking into before we be able to see a little bit more clearly about exactly what has been going on.
And of course, this all comes just a few months before elections are held in the US, where Trump is going to be a candidate. What does this all say about the political climate over there at the moment?
It's very complicated, and that's a very good question, because there have been extremely aggressive remarks traded by both sides. Donald Trump has been very outspoken and injurious about the Democrats, even comparing them to vermin, which is almost tantamount to a dialogue we would have heard in the 1930s in Germany. And the Democrats have been saying that Donald Trump is not fit to rule. He's a threat to democracy. So the debate has got very, very bitter, and I think that many people in the United States see violence as only the only way out of this political debate. And if you look at there was an opinion poll done by an organisation in the United States, which is called the Public Religion Research Institute, which found that 23% of voters think that true American patriots may have to resort to violence to save the country. And I think that says a lot about the climate that is in the country right now.
Philip Turle, International Affairs Editor, thank you so much for giving us the latest on this incident. We'll, of course, be speaking to Philip throughout the morning to get further developments.